Hello there, Stephanie Cameraman, the Stock Whisperer, here to tell you the weekly whisper. Each week I put together a video going over where all the dark pool prints were from this past week so that we can use these levels to trade off of this week. So last week, do you guys remember that massive level on the SPY? I think we all have it memorized by now, right? $283.25. 35 million traded there not too long ago on January 24th and on the 25th. And as soon as we went below that, look out below. I've been tweeting like a maniac all week long, and hope you guys put on protection. Okay, this is really the biggest level we've seen in a very, very long time. So moving on to Monday, we had a dark pool level not too long ago at 274.15 on January 11th, about 5.5 million shares, and that's a level just below where we closed. We closed at 275.45. Now here's what I want you to watch though, because we had some really heavy volume back here in December. All right, so we may come back down there to test to see if those guys still want to buy it. But you know what? Let's see what dark pool prints come in this week on the SPY. We did have some late dark pool prints on Friday at 281.66, and that was from the day before. All right, so people always ask me, when is this correction going to be over? And that's when we see late dark pool buy prints, and I'll be showing you what that looks like when and if they come in. Let's move on to the Russell. Yeah, so the Russell also had quite a big dip. We are bearish below 156.93. That's late dark pool sell prints that we got on Friday from the day before. However, a recent level to watch would be 154.88, and I'm just going to draw a line there. All right, that's an older dark pool level from the 11th, January 11th. All right, so as long as we stay below that, going to be bearish. We haven't really had too much prints on the Russell, but the Qs, let's move on to the Qs. Yeah, so the Qs we were bearish on below 170 last week, and wow, this really had a pull down. We had prints on Friday, late dark pool sell prints at 168. And we're going to be watching this older dark pool level, 163.80. That's pretty much where we closed, actually. All right, and this is from January 12th. That was a very, very big level that we had on January 20th. 163.30. Oops, let me just correct that. Yeah, that was a 10.6 million level, like the biggest level. All right, so we could, let's see if we get a bounce here or not. If we can't hold this week, very, very bearish. I can see a much bigger move to the downside, but that's really a key level. Volatility, if you recall, we've been seeing massive prints coming into that before this move up. And we had some pretty big prints on UVXY on Friday, a million shares at 14.08. We closed just shy of that, but definitely watch that as a level. If we break above that this week, that would be bullish. And also on the VIX, VXX, we had a million shares at 32.37 on Friday, and 31.91, and we are above that. So volatility still high. We definitely flirted with backwardation on Friday. We've been in contango for so long, and that's really when the VIX continues to move down. Every time you throw it up the hill, it moves down. Well, we stepped into some backwardation on Friday, so let's see how this week goes, and let's see what prints come in. So if you recall, I showed you a chart on the dollar. This was so big this week, the weekly chart. I know a lot of you guys trade gold. And this is a really key level. The dollar has been getting crushed, but we did come down to a really big support level. And you can see this week we did hold it and it bounced up again. So this is still so key. 88, around 48 is what I said last week. So continue to watch that. If we were to go down below that this week, and especially close below that, that would mean that gold, we get another push up. So that's really, really key. Also, this was such a key level for gold on the weekly. 1350 really needed to close above this level right here. You know what? We could not close above that. So we'll continue to watch that as well. But we did get some gold prints. Let me just show you that. GLD. We got on Friday, we got a pretty big print at 126. So yeah, we're going to be bullish only as long as she stays above 126. If we go below, then I can see a little bit more of a pullback. Also on GDX, 23.25, and we closed below this. All right, so that would be bearish on the gold miners. That's a pretty key level. Didn't get too many other prints there, but you know what I saw really big prints on this week? Financials. Yes, watch the financials, you guys. These are going to move this week. Earnings are pretty much over for the big guys. We had a couple of million on XLF, and we closed below it at 29.54. This was the key, like 3 million there. So I'm going to be, yeah, I'm bearish on financials. Last week, I was only bullish above 30. And you can see we could not go above that. 30 was such a key level. But I was really waiting for prints to come in before I went short on these guys. But we also spotted a really big print on KRE. That's the regional banks. 63.46 was the big print, and I'm just going to draw a line here. Yep, and we're definitely going to be bearish below for KRE. Also, Zion. This was unusual. Really big print. 1.4 million at 55.14. Let me just draw. Yeah, I love drawing these lines on my charts because then I can really use it as a visual. But check out this up thrust. High volume. This is a Wyckoff up thrust. Yeah, what that means is it's really a false breakout where they break it above a major level, 55, and it looks like, wow, it's a breakout. We're going to keep going up. And then the sellers come in and knock it down, and it closes weak with a big wick on top, and it has to have high volume, and you can see we have all of that, and we closed below the 55.14 print, so that's bearish. However, for a true Wyckoff up thrust, we need to see a retest this week on lower volume. Okay, and if that happens, it should come down quite a bit. So it's definitely worth watching this week. Let's move on to technology. Wow, what a huge week we had. Facebook, Apple, Google, Baba. Massive earnings this past week. But guess what we had? We had a really big 2.5 million print on XLK. That's the technology ETF at $68.75. And you can see we closed way below that. So we are bearish. We could easily come on down to this simple 50 moving average on the daily chart at 65.50. So we'll definitely keep an eye out there. Oh, you know what? I almost missed oil. Let's talk about oil. Yeah, oil. We had some pretty big prints. USO this week. But the big prints that I'm really focusing on are older prints at this 1280 level. All right, so if you trade oil, if USO breaks below 1280, look out below. We should definitely get a bigger pullback for that. And XLE, I've been whispering about this all week long. This is one of the best trades in my room on Friday. Holy cow, had a massive move. We had big prints on XLE at 75. And then we got another big print Friday, 73.24. Okay, right here. So we were bearish below 75, but really 74.50 was my whisper level this week. And you can see as soon as it broke down below that, we really had a free fall. So we're going to be watching a 73.24. Yeah, let's see if we can stay below that. As long as we stay below that, we'll remain bearish for that. But we also had massive volume coming in on XOP. Yeah, this is the oil and gas ETF, and at 35.64. Now you can see the daily chart had quite a bit of volume there. So let me just draw a line. Yeah, XOP. This is really key level. 35.64 was the print, but we'll use the half dollar, 35.50 this week. Yeah, if we close below that, there's still a lot more downside potential on that. So those are really, really key levels. Okay, let's talk about emerging markets. Yeah, emerging markets. We had massive prints on VWO, that's the ETF. And yeah, definitely look at that high volume. Emerging markets have really been having an amazing rally all week long. And then we just had this like parabolic move recently. And we had massive prints. Momentum is changing. This 4 exponential moving average, which I have in hot pink, has crossed below the 8 exponential moving average. And that's usually a pretty bearish sign in momentum. You can see they crisscrossed back here in December. We've been riding really strongly, but now things are turning. And so we had a big print at 48.67 right here. Definitely 3.2 million. That is really, really big. We're going to be bearish below that level. Also on EEM, that's another emerging market ETF, we had prints as well at 49.47. So we are going to be bearish as long as we stay below that. Now I want to talk about bonds. Yeah, I got to talk about bonds. If you have been following me on my darkpool app, especially in my trading room, we had massive prints on February 1st and massive prints on bonds that came in on TLT, AGG, LQD, VTIP, HYG. We're watching the bond futures, the 30-year. I'm going to show you a chart of that in a minute. Actually, let me just pull that up right now. Yeah, check out this chart. This is the dreaded H pattern on ZB. Here we go. Yeah, you see this H right here? Yeah, that's like a bear flag, but also a dreaded H. We had massive prints, and I was bearish below 146.09 in my tweet, as you just saw, and we broke down through that. So really, really key level. We have support at about 141.13. Bonds have really been getting hammered. Yeah, it's bearish below 146.08. And we had prints on the bond ETFs. I know not everybody trades futures, so we had big prints on TLT at 119.46. Yeah, we'll see if that is indeed buying at the bottom here. Okay, perhaps we've bottomed out, but if we go below 119.46 and close below that, there's a lot more room to the downside. Also, we got pretty big prints on AGG. That's another bond ETF. TLT, the options are a lot better, but some of you may prefer to trade AGG, and we had 107.12, massive print there on Friday. Okay, so those are key levels to watch. I like to go down to the next level, so I would be bearish below 107 for AGG, and I would be bearish below 119 for TLT. All right, let's talk about cryptocurrency. How many of you trade crypto? I know a lot of you are watching it. Levels last week were really, really good. Bitcoin, we were only bullish above 11,500. All right, that was such a key level that I was looking to trade. And you can see this thing went straight down, could not break above it. This week, watching, let me just make this a little bit bigger. This week, watching the 8,000 level. We just broke below it right now. Yeah, I'm going to be bearish below 8,000. That was a big support level technically on the chart. We broke below it. I would only be bullish if we could move to the upside and break above 10K. We'd have to break above that 10K level with volume. Okay, so right now, definitely watching that. Let's move on to Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum, I was only bullish above 1,200, okay? Could not break above that this week. Instead, we came all the way down. These are really big levels. This week, I'm bearish below 750. Right now, it's at 809. And I would only be bullish above 1,000. Really would like to see it break above 1,000. And I know some of you probably like to trade Litecoin as well, and only be bullish on Litecoin above 200. Okay, so those are my levels for cryptocurrency. Now we do have a lot of earnings coming up this week. We have General Motors, BP, Disney, Gilead, Snap, Tesla. It's going to be a good one. Yum Browns. We have Canadian Solar, GT, Kellogg's, Twitter, CVS is coming out this week, AIG, Nuance, Activision, NVIDIA. That is going to be a powerhouse earnings, NVIDIA. A lot of people love that stock. And FireEye. So come watch me trade along with my amazing traders all day long. I trade live. I call out my trades and I teach you how to enter and exit into these trades following the dark pool. So happy trading, everybody.
No thinking, that's my secret. Gonna keep it my secret. My secret.